Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Zach's Tech. Today we'll be talking about CES 2017, which unless you've been living under a rock, you will know that it's just gone underway. Now CES 2017 is one of the biggest IT shows on the planet, pretty much the biggest actually, where the biggest companies showcase the latest and greatest in their products and technologies to let the world see, show it off, and also announce and release their new products. Here is the list of 3 things that I'm most excited to see released in CES, as well as hit the shelves after CES. Okay, so first off, AMD Ryzen. AMD Ryzen is a CPU that has been going around the rumor mill for ages. It's been hyped up, there's been leaked news, teasers, a lot of heckload of rumors, as well as final confirmation that pretty much it will be released at CES this year, which is great. Really great. AMD Ryzen promises to bring a lot to the table and also help AMD revitalize its CPU business, because it's been dead for quite a while now after losing to Intel that many years ago in 2011 with their FX CPUs, that horrible, misguided and unfortunate attempt at AMD to usher in multi-core CPU as the future, which simply isn't as important as single-core performance then, and isn't as important as single-core performance now. AMD Ryzen promised to change that with new better architecture that will reduce heat, power consumption, as well as increase single-core performance. AMD's latest CPU, the Ryzen, AMD's rumored CPU, which they teased, was an 8-core 16-thread Ryzen CPU that promised to destroy the 6900K for way lower the price. So I can't wait to see them undercut Intel, which is kind of the AMD's habit, to be honest. Now, if you looked at Intel's latest release, Kaby Lake, which was trash, no IPC improvements, no architectural upgrades, really, it was atrocious. The Intel's Kaby Lake was a complete demonstration that Intel has been ahead for too long, and they've fallen asleep at the wheel, and the Kaby Lake was just a complacent release thinking that they are still undefeatable. It provides absolutely no upgrade value, and people who are still using standard bridge processors still have no reason to upgrade today because of Intel really not caring about improving CPU's performance. Now, the Kaby Lake didn't really provide anything except better overclocking, and that was about it. It was really just a re-release, to be honest, and it wasn't really anything special, and it was just very disappointing. Now, with AMD Zen likely to be coming along and undercutting Intel and hopefully destroying them to give them a wake-up call, I can't wait to see the future of the CPU market. AMD Ryzen, I really hope it brings back the competitive nature to the CPU market that will allow consumers to profit, to really win, because prices will be driven down, performance will go up, and Intel will no longer have everyone by their necks because they have total control of the market. They have the best CPUs. Hopefully that will no longer be the case with AMD Ryzen. Really hope they manage to succeed, give Intel a kick up their ass, as well as allow me to change my CPU, because I'm looking for an upgrade, but all the Intel options are horribly expensive, and I hope this release would drive prices down. So yeah, selfish intent right there. Now, number 2, let's talk quickly about VR. Virtual reality was a super hyped up thing in 2016. Many people claim that 2016 was the year of VR. It was a year that was going to get mainstream. It was going to become real. It's going to become a real good option for gaming, for getting more immersive experience in gaming. However, that never was the case. Despite releases like the HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, Consumer Edition, AMD's RX 480 that was meant to bring sufficient power to drive VR to the masses, as well as countless other attempts at bringing VR mainstream, VR just didn't pick up. There were a couple of reasons for this. The resolution was way too low. It was more worth it to upgrade your PC and get triple 1080p monitors, or in some cases triple 1440p monitors, where you get a more immersive experience at a higher resolution and still sometimes even get better frame rate because VR still wasn't optimized. If you look at HTC's or Oculus resolution, it isn't even 1080p, which is absolutely disappointing. And if you were using a VR headset and if you could see the pixels, it's even worse than if you were using a monitor and you could see the pixels. So that was one of the main issues why VR didn't really pick up. It wasn't well refined enough. Number two, there weren't enough games. There weren't proper AAA titles optimized for VR. Most of the games that were good were rare, actually. There weren't many good VR games, and none of them were really well made. Indie games were kind of fun. But they still couldn't give the depth of gameplay that many other games on the market could deliver, and just couldn't match up to say other releases of the year, like Overwatch, BF1, the Civilization 6. You just couldn't compare the game experience from VR to normal monitor gaming experience, because there just wasn't any good games for VR. So that made it kind of pointless to upgrade to VR when really a lot of the time was a downgrade. Now let's talk about the reason number 3, price. Let's just think about it. HTC Vive's a couple of $100, almost $1,000, and you still need sensors and all that extra crap if you want the best gaming experience. Not just that, you have to upgrade your computer, because let's face it, despite VR being such a low resolution, processing power is still important, as having a high frame rate is much more important when gaming in VR than gaming on a monitor. When it came to cost, just doing mainstream normal gaming on a PC and a normal 1080p monitor, or even 1440p monitor, was going to be a way better option financially and in terms of experience overall. So that's why VR never picked up as well. So CES 2017, there are many rumors about new VR headsets hitting the market and going to be released at CES. Some people believe that HTC Vive 2 will be released. Hopefully that's the case, but it's quite unlikely, as the HTC Vive was released not that long ago, and even though HTC and Valve will be a very hard-working company, except on Counter-Strike, because they never update that game. But nevertheless, VR is likely going to see a lot of new releases and of games, and new technologies for VR are going to be announced at CES, which is going to be great, which is hopefully going to help push VR forward into the future, and maybe even more into the mainstream. So yeah, can't wait, because I really would love to try something much better than that stupid Samsung Gear VR I have over there. Okay, so number 3. What's the third thing I'm most excited for? Smartphones. Now, I know smartphones kind of boring, because let's face it, they've been around for an extremely long time. They've been there, and they kind of hit the peak, the performance cap, which is kind of sad, because smartphones have the most potential. They are definitely the future. I mean, desktops are definitely going to disappear someday, and smartphones are going to continue progressing. But the thing is, smartphones seemingly have slowed down. People have not been asking for more, and this 2-year-old OnePlus 2, which was a budget phone from 2-3 years ago, still works perfectly fine and probably can compete with the S7 and latest smartphones today. So basically, I really hope at CES, with the things like the release of the Snapdragon 835, I really hope that new smartphones can be released with better technologies that make smartphones and upgrading to another high-end smartphone a much more feasible option, and much more exciting thing. Make smartphones more exciting, because let's be honest, it's quite boring and quite pointless to upgrade to a high-end smartphone right now. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys found it interesting. I hope you found something useful of my opinion. If you did, hit thumbs up button. If you didn't, you can dislike. That's a bit sadder, but whatever. You can share the video, of course. Please do. That would be very appreciated. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more tech videos like this and the CES roundup. When everything is done, I'm going to do a little roundup of my favorite tech. I'm going to make another video of this. I'm going to make a review of this Huawei Y635 smartphone, and a rant on why low-end smartphones just aren't worth it. So you can subscribe for that as well, and stay tuned on my channel because there will be a lot of things coming up. I'm going to have a new kind of video style. I hope this is much better because I now have a set. I'm going to shoot in daytime, and the lighting will hopefully be much better, and this set maybe actually helps out with my video quality. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.